It was December 19th, 2025. Evening rush hour had made Taipei Main Station very crowded. This station is usually a safe and busy place in Taiwan's capital city, but on this night, peace suddenly broke. Thick white smoke quickly filled the air. Loud alarms started screaming, making a terrible noise. People began to panic, shouting and running in every direction. They wanted to get away from the danger. In the middle of this fear, a man appeared. He wore black body armor, making him look very strange and scary. He threw smoke grenades into the crowded area. This was the start of a terrible and unexpected attack. A brave 57-year-old man, Mr. Yu, saw what was happening. He was a kind person, known for always trying to help others and standing up for what was right. Mr. Yu immediately stepped forward to stop the attacker. He hoped to protect innocent people from harm. But the attacker had a long, very sharp knife. He used it with strong force, hurting Mr. Yu badly. Mr. Yu fell to the ground. He was the first person to die in this shocking event. This sudden violence surprised everyone in Taipei, one of the safest cities in the world. The attacker's identity and his reasons were a complete mystery. As Mr. Yu lay still, the man with the knife quickly disappeared back into the thick smoke and the terrified crowd. Where would he go next? How many more people would be hurt in this unexpected attack? A second attack.
The attacker moved fast through the city. He moved quickly from Taipei Main Station through underground paths. His next stop was a hotel near Zhongshan Station, about 1 kilometer away. There he took off his black armor and quickly changed his clothes. He also picked up more weapons. This showed he had planned carefully for more violence. Around 6 o'clock in the evening, the man appeared again. He was now in the busy Zhongshan shopping district. This area had many shops and the popular A Slight Spectrum bookstore. Shoppers were enjoying their evening until peace ended. The attacker threw more smoke grenades into the crowded street. Thick white smoke filled the air, making it hard to see. People screamed and ran in every direction, trying to escape. With smoke everywhere, the attacker began his second assault. He held a long, sharp knife. He attacked people on the street, hitting anyone without choosing. Many fell to the ground, bleeding and in shock. Some victims were specifically stabbed in the neck. The violence escalated quickly. The attacker then rushed inside the A Slight Spectrum bookstore. He continued stabbing people on the 1st and 4th floors, spreading terror throughout the store. One woman inside the bookstore saw him. She later told others, "It felt like a hit, then it really hurt." She looked around and saw many people lying down. They needed first aid because they were bleeding. The city felt deep terror. Soon police sirens were heard.
Police cars arrived at the Esleet bookstore. The attacker was now trapped inside the building. Many innocent shoppers were still inside with him. Everyone wondered what would happen next. Would it be a hostage situation or a bloody fight? The Man in Black. Chang Wen was the man behind the attacks. He was 27 years old. Chang had moved to Taipei in January 2025, living in a rented apartment. He had served as a volunteer soldier in the Taiwan Air Force and was discharged in 2022, so he had some military training. Police knew Chang Wen already. They wanted him for not doing his mandatory military service. All young men in Taiwan must serve in the army. Chang was supposed to go for training on November 25, 2024, but he never reported. He had not told the government he moved, so his summons letter did not reach him. An arrest warrant for him was issued on July 11, 2025. Police officers quickly tracked Chang Wen to the Elite Spectrum Nancy bookstore. He was trapped inside the building as police closed in. During their search, officers found a small notebook and a cell phone at the scene. These items belonged to Chang. Investigators hoped these personal belongings would later give them clues about his mindset and the reasons for his terrible acts. Chang Wen found himself completely cornered with no escape. He did not surrender to the police who surrounded him.
Instead, he made a final, desperate choice. Chang Wen jumped from the 6th floor of the building, falling to the ground below. He was badly hurt, and his heart stopped. Emergency services quickly took him to Cathay General Hospital. Doctors tried their best, but it was too late. Chang Wen was pronounced dead at 7:42 in the evening. It was believed he jumped on purpose to avoid being caught. Now the man who caused so much fear was dead. He could not speak about his actions. The killer was gone forever, silencing any chance of a direct confession. With no answers from Chang Wen himself, how would the police and investigators ever find the real reason for this senseless violence? The important answers seemed lost with him, leaving a big mystery. 4. The price of violence. The busy stations and streets were quiet now, but the damage had been done. People in Taipei were sad and scared. This chapter tells about the people who lost their lives and those who were hurt. It shows the real price of violence. First, there was Mr. Yu, the 57-year-old man. He was the hero who tried to stop the attacker at Taipei Main Station. The knife went deep, from his right lung to his heart. It was a very bad wound. Doctors at National Taiwan University Hospital tried hard to save him, but Mr. Yu had lost too much blood. He died at 7:30 in the evening. The mayor of Taipei said that Mr. Yu's wife called him a man who always stood up for what was right. He died trying to protect strangers. Then, 2 other men died from the attacks near Zhongshan Station. They were both 37 years old. The second victim was Mr. Xiao. He died at Mackay Memorial Hospital at 8:10 in the evening. The third victim was Mr. Wang. He died later at Shin Kong Hospital at 10:13 in the evening. Doctors worked for many hours to save Mr. Wang. They gave him blood and prepared for long medical care, but it was not enough. The attacker had hurt them randomly. 5 more people were injured, 3 men and 2 women. 1 person was in a very bad condition. Many had serious cuts on their necks, chests, shoulders, and faces. Some even had heart problems right after the attack. They all went to different hospitals. Medical teams across the city worked late into the night, helping the wounded. One woman who was inside the S-Light bookstore said she felt a hit, then a lot of pain. She saw other people bleeding on the floor. She also helped another scared woman who had fallen. Now, families grieved for their loved ones. Friends worried about the injured. The city felt a deep sadness. People asked why this happened, but the killer was dead, so he could not tell them. The answer to why was still missing. This left a feeling of great unfairness and a strong need for answers that nobody had. A safe city's fear. Taiwan was known worldwide as a very safe place. This reputation was something its people were proud of.
Statistics showed just how rare violent crime truly was. In 2023, for example, there were about 1,179 crimes for every 100,000 people. This number was much lower than in many other parts of the world. A major violent incident, especially one involving a mass stabbing, was almost impossible to imagine in this peaceful nation. This made the recent attacks feel even more out of place. People struggled to understand why such a terrible event could happen in such a safe city. It was the question on everyone's mind. Why here? This attack deeply reopened old wounds from a past tragedy. Just 11 years ago, in May 2014, Taipei suffered a similar shock. A young man used a knife on a busy metro train, killing 4 people and hurting 24 others. That event also broke the public's sense of security. After that 2014 attack, nearly 1 million fewer passengers rode the Taipei metro in just 10 days. The fear was real, even after the killer was caught and put to justice. Now Chang Wen's rampage brought back all those anxieties. The public's deep trust in their city's safety was shattered once more. In the immediate aftermath, many people avoided public transportation. The city's lively streets and busy stations felt different. A quiet, uneasy fear spread through everyone. Commuters looked at strangers with new caution, and parents worried about their children's safety. The everyday calm Taipei residents knew was replaced by a palpable sense of vulnerability. The public was terrified and demanded immediate action from their leaders. President Lai Ching-te spoke quickly, promising to use all government power to make the city safe again. Premier Cho Jung-tae also moved to increase security, ordering more police presence at all important transport hubs like train stations, metro stations, and airports. 200 extra police officers were quickly sent to patrol Taipei's public transit system. However, with the killer dead, the true motive remained a mystery. People wondered, what could the authorities truly do to prevent such a faceless threat from striking again? How could they stop a danger that seemed to come from nowhere? 6. A killer's plan. Police worked hard to understand the brutal attacks. Their deep investigation began with Chang Wen's personal spaces. They carefully searched his apartment in Taipei's Zhangjiang district. They also looked through the hotel room where he had stayed for 3 nights, close to Zhangjiang Station. What they discovered there was chilling. It proved that Chang Wen had planned the attacks with great care and for a long time. This was not a spur-of-the-moment act, but a calculated series of violent steps.
Inside both his apartment and the hotel room, police found a large and dangerous collection of items. They discovered 25 Molotov cocktails.
These are homemade bombs designed to cause big fires, capable of spreading destruction quickly. Besides these, they found 45 other homemade incendiary devices. These were also types of small bombs, ready to be used. This careful collection of weapons showed that the attack was not a quick, sudden act of madness. Instead, it was a clear and frightening plan, put together over many days or weeks. Investigators also learned important details about Chang Wen's past. He had served as a volunteer soldier in the Taiwan Air Force. He worked in a radio communication team. He was discharged in 2022. This earlier military experience was key. It likely gave him knowledge about tactics and planning how to use weapons. It could explain how he used smoke grenades to create chaos and move unseen through crowded areas. The evidence from the searches, combined with his background, made it certain the attack was not spontaneous. It was meticulously planned down to the last detail. In Chapter 3, police found a notebook and a cell phone belonging to Chang Wen at the scene. These items were now a central part of the investigation. Detectives were studying them closely, hoping to find clues about his mindset and true motivations. They wanted to understand why he chose to cause such terror in a peaceful city. What thoughts filled his mind? What was his real reason for such evil acts? But for now, the police kept the details of their findings secret.
The answers were still hidden from the public. The discovery of so many bombs gave investigators a deeper worry. Chang Wen had prepared for much more than just knife attacks. He had enough weapons to start a small-scale war. This massive collection of destructive devices made police believe that his full plan was far more deadly than the events that took place that evening. The stabbings, though horrific, might have been just the first step in a larger, more horrific attack against the city. What was his ultimate goal, and what terrible actions did he intend to do next with all those bombs? 7. A society asks why. The terrible attacks in Taipei made people think about more than just the crime. Taiwan is a very safe place, so this violence caused many citizens to ask deep questions about their society. One big question was about mental health. People asked if Taiwan's mental health system was good enough. They wondered if Chang Wen, the attacker, was someone who needed help but did not get it. Experts said that Taiwan's help for mental health problems often came too late. They wondered if earlier support could have stopped the tragedy. The government had started to put more money into community mental health centers, but it was unclear if these new efforts could find people like Chang Wen before they caused harm. Another question was about law enforcement. Chang Wen was wanted by the police because he did not report for military service.
He was able to plan a big attack and gather many weapons without being caught. People asked how a wanted man with a criminal record could do this. They questioned if the police systems could work better to track dangerous people, Should different police groups share information more quickly? Could they have found Chang Wen before he hurt anyone? These were not simple questions. Many people discussed if the system was broken or if Chang Wen was simply too determined to stop. Some believed that no system could completely stop a person set on violence, especially if that person was ready to die. Others felt that the system had failed to protect innocent people. This important debate showed that the attack was more than just a crime. It was a challenge to Taiwan's sense of security and how it cared for its people. The answers to these questions could change many things in Taiwan, but a clear agreement had not yet been reached. 8. Scars on the Capitol. December 19th, 2025, marks a day Taipei will never fully forget. It brought much sadness, but also showed the strong spirit of the city's people. 3 innocent lives were taken in the attacks. For a city known as one of the safest in the world, this violence was a shock. But in the chaos, people showed great bravery. The acts of the 57-year-old man who stood against the attacker will always be a story of heroism and courage.
His sacrifice and the help others gave highlight the resilience of Taipei. The killer, Chang Wen, died while police were chasing him. Because of this, the true reasons behind his horrific acts are likely lost forever. This leaves a deep, uncomfortable emptiness. People still search for answers to why such a terrible event happened. Investigators have studied every piece of evidence, but Chang's final motives remain a painful mystery, buried with him. This tragedy harshly reminded everyone that safety can be very fragile, even in the most peaceful cities. It has left a permanent scar on Taipei's calm identity. The feeling of absolute security that once defined the capital has changed. Leaders have worked hard to boost security in public places, putting more police on patrol and increasing checks. Yet important questions about mental health systems and how to prevent such violence in the future continue to be discussed deeply across society. The memories of December 19th and the many questions it left behind will shape Taipei for years. It is a constant reminder of how quickly peace can be broken and how some questions may never get clear answers. After reading about this event, what do you think is the most significant change a city experiences after such a major incident?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world.